The new coaches poll listing Michigan 8th. Georgia opening the season once again as the preseason number 1, and Texas with its highest preseason rank since 2010. Let's look a little further down the list and break it down by conference here. There are 9 teams ranked from the SEC, 6 from the Big Ten, 5 from the Big 12, and 4 from the ACC. Kind of interesting. You see the A&M Aggies sneaking in there at number 20. NC State, a popular ACC sleeper pick. They're coming in at 22. A lot of these coaches picking brand names, it seems. USC there at 23, and Iowa rounding out the top 25 with an offense that is hopefully improved. And now we welcome in Brad Crawford, our national college football analyst. Brad, good to see you again. When you look at this first iteration of the coaches poll, what stands out to you?
Yeah, I'm going to stay with the Michigan narrative here. I mean, the Wolverines being inside the top 10 is a bit of a surprise to me, and they even have a first-place vote. Maybe that was first-year coach Sharon Moore. Maybe that was his doing, perhaps a coach in the Big Ten who believes, in the defending champion should always be in the top 10 narrative. But I don't consider Michigan to be a serious playoff championship threat this fall. This NCAA investigation cloud is going to be an obvious distraction. They're replacing J.J. McCarthy with a relative unknown at quarterback and Alex Orji. Never had a career start. He's thrown one ball in the college ranks. Blake Corum going from the backfield, All-American running back. Tough schedule. To me, Grace, it all adds up for, a lot of concerns in Ann Arbor, and I don't see them as a preseason top 10. And my second takeaway from this is Oregon inside the top 5. I think we can both agree that Oregon is likely a top 5 preseason team, deservedly so. Dylan Gabriel at quarterback based on what they did last season. Really good pickups in the portal. But I don't think Oregon deserves the level of billing they've got at number 3 over the Longhorns. I mean, Texas was one play away last season from reaching the college football playoff national championship game after losing to Washington. So I like Texas in that 3 spot over Oregon, but coaches had other plans.
Let's get into your overrated and underrated teams. Tell us, which teams do you think are rated a little bit too high in this first poll?
Yeah, one of my overrated teams is Florida State at number 10. I don't really like them being ahead of Missouri and LSU. I think Missouri and LSU have better 2 deep rosters overall. I have my doubts about the Noles. Will DJ Uiagalelei transfer from Clemson, formerly of Oregon State as well? Is he going to be a Heisman contender? We don't know that. Did Mike Norvell effectively replace his weaponry in the transfer portal? We don't know that either. So I'm a little bit worried right now that Florida State, being the preseason ACC favorite, according to media and coaches, maybe a little bit overhyped right now. Lost a ton of talent in the NFL, a couple big-time pass rushers. And the most important case to me is the ACC behind Florida State has gotten collectively better, with NC State being a top 25 preseason team. Clemson's obviously hungry, hasn't made the playoff in several years. And then you've got Florida State rival Miami, who has one of the best rosters in college football thanks to the portal. So there's a lot of potential ACC champions I see outside of Florida State, but the coaches feel different. They have the Noles number 10, and that's a little bit too high for my opinion. And then the second overrated team for me is Kansas. I mean, Jalen Daniels was injured all of last season at quarterback. They don't have a ton of depth behind him. Former quarterback Bean is now in the NFL with the Colts, so they lose that quality quarterback too. Kansas is a team also that lost its OC to Penn State, one of the best offseason hires. So Florida State at 10, Kansas number 24. Both those teams, Grace, are a bit overrated in my opinion.
I'm seeing some correlation in your picks here, and I love it. So if FSU is overrated, there's an ACC team that is underrated. Who might that be?
It's going to be Miami, and that's a pick for me for the 3rd straight season. I mean, this is year 3 of Mario Cristobal. This is year 3 of me having Miami inside the preseason top 15. The coaches have them at number 19. I think they have a top 10 roster. And that's saying a lot because Miami has not finished the first 2 years under Cristobal the way Hurricanes fans and those big-time boosters expect down there. But this is going to be the year, I think, that Miami makes it to the ACC championship game and shows that preseason number 19 ranking is a little bit underrated right now. Cam Ward in the portal, huge acquisition. Damian Martinez, 1,200-yard running back from Oregon State. They got him after spring. No team in college football, besides maybe Oregon, spent more on talent in the portal. So Miami's a team that I find underrated. And my second most underrated team is Tennessee. There's 5 or 6 SEC teams, Grace, that we've talked about all offseason since January, and especially this summer, and Tennessee has not been one of them. Get used to the pronunciation of Nico Iamaleava this season. Iamaleava, freshman quarterback. He's going to be a star in the SEC. I think Tennessee's schedule sets up for success. If they can beat NC State and Oklahoma in September and start off 4-0, we're talking about a team that rises from number 15 to probably inside the top 5. Team can certainly get to the playoff.
Hey, I'm just going to call him Nico. I'm glad you're pronouncing it, not me. But yes, we will take heed. We will start practicing. Looking at this poll, there is not a single Group of 5 school on it, but there is one that you are eyeing that you think could be a actual playoff contender. Who might that be?
Yeah, where is Liberty in the preseason rankings? I mean, they bring back most of a team that finished unbeaten the regular season last year. I know Bo Nix and Oregon throttled them out in the Fiesta Bowl, but that was many months ago, and this team is ready to go undefeated again. Jamie Chadwell back for another season. Caden Salter at quarterback. They've got workhorse, really speedy running backs, really the most underrated backfield in college football. Scored a lot of points there with Willie Corn calling the offense. So I like Liberty. I mean, the schedule is possibly the easiest in the G5 ranks. And some of the other teams like Boise State, they've got to go to Oregon. You know, you've got Tulane playing in a tough conference. So if Liberty goes 12-0 again, wins their conference title game, I don't see how the selection committee can keep the Flames out of that expanded playoff.
Yeah, Liberty right now, the runaway favorite to win Conference USA according to odds makers at -195. Brad Crawford, thank you. All right, and for more of Brad's work and work from the rest of our team, head over to 247sports.com. We got your wall-to-wall team coverage, recruiting rankings, transfer portal updates, every single thing you need.